But what do you think about this fight, Table? Israel Adesanya versus Yoel Romero for the middleweight championship of the world. How do you see this?
How do I see it? I see it as a fucking great matchup. Obviously, we got a savage, freak behemoth, Hercules look-alike, fucking crazy Cuban, who's the scariest motherfucker I've ever seen walk into the octagon ever. The scariest motherfucker I've ever seen walk into the octagon. He's
43 years old on top of that, so you're just like, Jesus Christ, like this guy's a full-grown man. Shouldn't even be fighting, honestly, at that age, but he still looks like an absolute savage and still murks.
He looks like he's on every steroid, every picogram under the fucking
You gotta ask, you're like, USADA, where are you at?
Dude, I'm sure this guy's been tested by everyone under the sun a million times. So, one of the only people that gets tested more than him, I think, is
Holly Holmes.
50
times. She got a jacket for it.
And
I think
Sugar
that
Sean.
Was weird.
Sugar Sean was the most tested athlete last year, I guess.
That's crazy. Probably because he smoked so much weed. That's probably my guess. Seriously.
Probably. You never know. Plus the picograms and shit.
Yeah, picograms, too, is a factor, no doubt.
This fight, man. Oh, my God. This is like the greatest counter-striker of all time.
Versus the bull.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. It's the This is the Matador and the bull. That's exactly what it is. You have the fucking one of the scariest, most powerful counter strikers we've ever seen in the middleweight division ever. One of the greatest kickboxers to come in the division ever. Undefeated, phenom, superstar, next Conor McGregor, some are saying, versus the dude that no one ever wants to fight. No one ever calls out.
No one's ever called out Yoel Romero besides Israel Adesanya. Yeah. And Izzy, I just went back and watched a bunch of his fights, man. He is something special. Yeah. And the way that like people come after him and he's able to do that sidestep and he's able to open that pocket and strike back. Like I don't see that with anyone else doing that the way he moves out and dodges punches and then just counters. Yeah. He counters hard too. That Whitaker fight I went back and rewatched, man. That knockout with that left as he's coming, he's just fucking boom right there.
And the first knockdown, think about it. Not only is he a great striker offensively, but great striker defensively. Yeah. That first knockdown he got
at the end of the first round.
Yep, that Whitaker threw that big right hand, and he threw a left hook, and then with the same hook as he's coming back,
that's the one I'm talking about. Yeah,
dodged the right hand, fucking blocked it, and then hit him with a check right, missed the check right, and then hit him again with another check right and landed that one. That was the knockout. He's so smart.
He's masterful.
He's so technical. It's like watching an artist out there. It really is. Mm-hmm. It's like watching an artist paint a fucking picture. And it's his picture every single time. So this is such a hard fight for me to pick because you have a grenade in Yoel Romero. He's like a fucking landmine.
Right.
He could blow up at any second. He could explode and fuck you up, send you to the next dimension at any point of the fight. Doesn't matter how tired he is. Doesn't matter what round it is. At any point, if the horn has not been fucking, like, if the horn has not been sounded, at any point, this man can put you to sleep.
Well, again, I mean, he's done that so many times in his career where he's ended guys in later rounds. I mean, he ended Lyoto Machida in the third round. He ended Luke Rockhold in the third round.
Chris Weidman in
the third round.
Flying knee from fucking nowhere.
Knee KO. Yeah.
Crazy.
So, and that's what's interesting about Yoel Romero. I would say his biggest disadvantage is his cardio. He gasses himself out very fast. Every fight I watched, even going back, I'm like, damn, Yoel's looking tired. But then he just explodes in these combinations. And if he lands one of those, I mean, you're going to be on Queer Street real quick, man. Yeah. Like, it's going to be a real problem.
That's why he fights that way. It's because he knows he doesn't have the greatest cardio in the world, especially because he's so big.
And he's 43, too.
Yeah,
in all reality.
He's so big for that division. He knows he doesn't have good cardio. That's why he's so... When you watch him fight, like the first time I ever watched this man fight, I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? He's boring. This guy's boring. He ain't doing jack shit. Then all of a sudden, just fucking killed someone. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, what just happened? I blinked for 2 seconds and the guy's dead. What happened? No, scary.
It is. Very scary.
The scariest guy in the middleweight division. Literally no one wanted to fight him ever besides Paulo Costa. Paulo Costa called him out. He was the first guy to ever call him out.
I went back and rewatched that fight too, and Paulo Costa won that fight. I agree with the judges on that.
I thought so
all
too.
3 judges had 48-47, and I went back and watched that fight. I had Paulo Costa winning that fight.
I thought so too. He definitely won 2-1. The thing with rope and dope Yoel, it was probably the most entertaining Yoel to watch. Don't get me wrong, but rope and dope Yoel was not. He's not a counter striker. He's not an Israel Adesanya. He's not a Wonder Boy. He can't fight backwards. He has to be the pressure guy.
Totally.
So I'm very, very intrigued with this matchup, dude. I honestly, it was so hard for me to pick this fight because it's just they're like this opposites on the spectrum in terms of striking. They're the exact opposites. You got a great counter striker and an explosive guy that has one punch knockout power, one knee just ridiculous one strike knockout power. Yeah. So it's one of the most difficult matchups I've ever had to pick, but I had to make one.
Again, I think stylistically this is such a fun fight. I love both fighters. But for me, I got to stay on this hype train that is known as Israel Adesanya. I have to believe that this is the next superstar, the superstar we want as MMA fans, and the superstar that we deserve. One that's going to stay in the UFC, one that's going to consistently fight 2 to 3 times a year.
One that's going to defend his belt.
Who's going to defend his belt,
yes.
Who's going to be the champion, who's going to be the people's champion that we want to see. I think he continues his legacy this Saturday night. I think it's a 3rd-round TKO. I think he's going to outmaneuver. I think he's going to outwork Yoel Romero. I think he's going to get him tired, and I think he'll finish him in the 3rd round, and it's going to blow a lot of people's minds.
Wow. That would be absolutely insane. I have a little bit of a different take. I have it. I'm just going to go Israel Adesanya, unanimous decision. I'm expecting a 5-round war. I really am. I'm expecting another Kelvin Gastelum classic.
Really?
Yes, which is very unfortunate for Israel because it might change him for the rest of his life and his career because it's with a fucking behemoth like Yoel. Yep. But that's what I'm expecting.
Don't you think that does damage to Yoel Romero, though, taking those beatings in and out? Like, we never talk about that.
Yes.
About the damage. So at what point do we the threshold ends for Yoel? Is it this fight?
We'll see. I guess only time will really tell. I mean, we'll see. That guy's made out of granite.
He is.
He's made out of the fucking hardest marble
Stone,
you can think of.
Brick shit house.
Yeah, the guy's a fucking freak. So I almost wish it goes your way. I'd rather you get the 3 points because it'll be so much better for Israel's career. If he gets into a 5-round war with Yoel, I'm really nervous.
And I really want to see that guy blow up and be a megastar. I think he's got the full capability.
Me too.
He's smart too. He's
great on the mic.
Yes.
Great in the cage. He's one of the best talkers in the UFC,
and we've talked about this before on this podcast, but man, I really, to a huge extent, feel so bad for Israel Adesanya because unfortunately in the middleweight division, there is no one to shit talk. I really believe that's why he's trying to start this hype with John Jones because this is the only guy that'll shit talk.
Yeah.
That for whatever reason, the highest contenders in the middleweight division, for whatever reason, none of them speak English and they don't shit talk very well.
Yeah.
You got Paulo Acosta, you got Yoel Romero. I mean, the list goes on as far as like those top tier contenders.
Yeah, the biggest savages in the division don't know fucking English.
Exactly.
And it's just a damn shame because he's such a good talker.
He is.
He needs a guy that can really go back and forth with him
to really elevate him to that superstar status.
It'll make his fights so much better, and it'll just make him bigger.
The problem is Yoel's like, I love you, Israel.
Yeah.
You know, like he just loves everyone. He's a nice guy. They literally call him the soldier of God, so he's not going to shit talk.
I'll see you soon, boy.
Yeah. Well, even when they're, when Izzy's trying to talk shit to him, he's like, no, I love you. I love you. And he's trying to shake his hand, at the press conference. So you're not going to get any shit talk. You're not going to get any of that drama that people are looking for. But I'm telling you right now, if Israel wins this fight, and yes, whatever, Paulo Acosta after that, but as soon as he fights someone who can dish it back, it's going to be a fun time for everyone. It really will be. Because Israel's a megastar.